Good morning traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. So we're going to just start with a bit of a recap of some of the moves from last night. We're looking at the dollar CAD at the moment. So dollar CAD had a half decent rally before Canadian CPI data came in, but very early into Thursday morning. We saw a hold at minus 0.1%. This was seen as pretty good news for the Canadian dollar. We saw a sharp rally which led to a sharp decline on the dollar CAD. Now stronger oil prices also had an influence as well. So we saw a 0.34% drop and we hit new weekly lows. So we broke this point here, which we wouldn't say it's a very strategic support point, but it definitely was a two-pronged low, and we did see a break below that, but we have seen it was a pullback late in the session. So we'll have to just see if this is what we as an exhaustion bar, or if we're going to see a rally up and then another decline. So if we did see a new round of fresh heavy selling with risk rallying, we'd be looking for possibly a move to possibly come down to this level to test, but that's a long way away, and just an idea at this point. So moving on to this morning, we're just going to have a look at the NZD USD. The GDP came out in New Zealand this morning. It showed a rise, beat expectations coming at 0.7%, and this is mainly due to higher retail consumption driving up that figure. So interesting data release. We had a sharp rally all the way back up to the 6613 point before we had a solid fade and pullback. So at the moment we're sitting below that release point. So we are watching the dollar at the moment. It's choppy this morning, to put it lightly. So on the daily chart we can see that bar here, which is saying possible continuation developing, but at the moment things are still a little bit negative, and we'll just have to see if buyers can retake that point again or not. And we'll move over now to gold. So gold's really just a never-ending story basically at the moment with this resistance point. We saw another move up yesterday before sellers moved in again last night, taking that move down. It was interesting because stocks didn't really move a lot higher last night, and also the US dollar was pretty mixed, still lower last night. So gold again just failing really to be able to break above this level here. So that's definitely, so we can see now a real pinch is sort of developed here. It is a ascending triangle, but it's in a range. So could we see a move back to the bottom of the range? Possibly, or could we see a new attempt to break higher? That's what we're going to just have to wait and see at the moment with gold as it sits in this consolidation pattern. The Aussie, we are still watching the Aussie. We had a little bit of a test lower this morning, but this bar here is sort of still holding at this point. That's the one we're watching, this previous high. We're just still really waiting to watch and see if it becomes a new point of support. And then, like with the Kiwi, what we just saw, if we see a new up leg higher start, but the key really is for buyers to hold this level here, a break below and a close below here sets off some different ideas, and a hold at this level would suggest possibly the buyers could be building numbers. So that's a one that we're also keeping an eye on at the moment. Now we're just going to finally just move over to Bitcoin. As usual, Bitcoin's done another amazing move out of nowhere. We made new weekly lows before buyers really re-engaged overnight, and we saw a just under 8% move to close out yesterday's session, and this morning we've seen more buying, which is starting to see a bit of resistance from this level here. And at one stage, we were trading nearly 12% up in less than a day, well, just over a day's trade. So we're going to keep an eye on this one as well. We're going to see if there is a pullback, if buyers can absorb that, and if we see a new move, basically similar to what we saw over here, where we had that low put in, buyers stopped selling, we had a little bit of an inside bar, a test lower, but then we had a new rally out of that. So we're going to just keep an eye on this to see if this does develop into a new point. It's far away just yet from calling it a reversal, but as we saw in this pattern, this bar here, there are some signs here of strong buying coming back into the market. But again, we do need to give it a lot more time. We have seen a break of trend here, very mildly, so we will just have to see how we go at this level here. There's still a pretty decent resistance from here all the way up to this level here. So if we do see a pullback, we'd want to see buyers really break those levels to say that they're pushing to get a new leg up going. So just going to look up to news that's coming out. At 11:30 this morning, we've got Australian employment data. Unemployment rate, they're looking for 5.3%. And then there's no release date on this, it's tentative. So we have the Bank of Japan monetary policy statement coming out. And then this evening we have UK retail sales, and we also have the UK rates decision. So rates expected to stay on hold at 0.75%, but traders will be looking at the rate statement just to gauge any idea about possible directions from the central bank in the future. That's it for now, so we hope you have a fantastic trading day, and until tomorrow, bye for now.